Little Coco came back to us in January. Coco had been adopted out previously from here, if I remember correctly, about 2 years ago. Circumstances changed in that adopter's life, so Coco was returned to us. And when Coco came in, he was underweight, but just quite didn't look right. Little shaggier hair coat, wasn't active for his age, not what I expected him to be, especially being a miniature. So we done intake on him, and from the get-go, he has been missing a left eye, and it was like that previously when he was here. And for me, it was always a curiosity, oddity point, because it just didn't look right. I mean, there's no other good ways to describe it. It looked like bulging of tissue in there. At times, you thought you could see the globe way back in the eye, so it was one of those of like, what's going on with the eye? But in my gut feeling with him, it's always been like something's not quite right. So where he was malnourished, I wanted to see if everything was working correctly, but I wanted to give him time to get established again on good nutrition. So we've waited almost 2 months before I pulled blood work on him to see how his liver, kidney function, his basic bodily functions were going. We did take a biopsy of that eye tissue at that time to see, was it maybe cancer, just to rule out that. And last night, when I was checking email, it was probably about 8 o'clock last night, I pulled it up and our results had came in on Coco. The good news is the eye was not cancer. That was the good news. Apparently at some point there's been an injury, there was some inflammation showing just with the swelling there, but there was no evidence of cancer in the samples we sent. So that was a positive for Coco. Still didn't tell us what it, give us a clue of what might have happened to get it started, but when I got to the blood work, unfortunately, that's where I suspected the issue would pop up. It would be a metabolic issue, and his blood work is showing that he is having issues with his liver. Now, horses are like humans with their livers. Their livers have to be pretty significant damage with only about 20 to 30% left before you see major issues that you're going to be aware of. So for him, I was picking up on, he's not quite right. He's not got quite the attitude. And that's where he's at. He is not at the liver failure of 20 to 30% of having problems with his liver, but he does have some liver issues. Now, it will take further workup, biopsies, some more diagnostic tests if we wanted to pinpoint exactly what that was. Unfortunately, with that, I would not feel comfortable adopting him out because I know the adopter would just end up having to return him for euthanasia. The good news is, though, that Dawn, one of the ladies with our adoption part of the organization, she has fell in love with Coco. She has kind of taken him under her wing. She has spoiled him, bringing him treats daily while I've been watching him, while we've been letting him gain weight back. And he has gained weight while we've had him here. But again, he's just not a peppy, normal miniature horse. So she is actually going to adopt him home with her, knowing the fact that as things progress that we will end up putting him down, but she is going to let him go home, live as good a life as he can, knowing that there are underlying liver issues that as quality of life declines on him, that we are going to euthanize him. But again, he is one of those of, I would not adopt him out to just anybody because he would be a return knowing that he had a medical issue, but he has an excellent home with Dawn that is going to take care of him for his good final health. And again, with liver, you never can say an exact timeline of he's got 1 month, 6 months. So whatever good time he has left, he will definitely be a spoiled little boy. He's been spoiled here. So I'm not worried about him going home. And she knows what to watch for. And again, she works here, so I can get daily updates if we need to of when we need to make that decision, things like that. So some good news for Coco, but bad news at the same time. But we're going to focus on the good, that he gets to live out his whatever days are left in a good, loving home, and we'll still take care of him when the time comes.
He's a special needs horse because he's so skinny, and I like to take them, give him a good home. Aww. This will be my 4th medical conditioned one I've taken home.
What do you love taking the special needs one?
Because they're harder for us to adapt out, and they just need to go someplace and be a horse and not have to worry about anything but being spoiled. And this one, I remember when he was here the first time, I wanted to take him home then because I was looking for a second one. But he got home, so I didn't. But now he's definitely going home with me.